I know we had several cars that were overturned on the interstate earlier, and it looks like those will be some of the injuries we're talking about, but certainly a number of injuries from this storm cell.
In fact, we've gotten reports of cars being blown into homes, so you can see that the potential for injury is very great there. We found that at first we were sort of concentrating on some of the areas south of Jefferson County, Bullitt and Hardin County and Nelson. Those areas we had gotten reports of tornadoes touching down. Now we've sort of focused our interest now on Indiana. We know that they're getting some...
Tornado warnings are in effect. As a matter of fact, I should have updated that a moment ago for the areas back up to our north, eastern Washington, Scott, and northern Clark counties in southern Indiana. You can see it on top of the screen until 9 o'clock. Once again, that is a radar-indicated tornado at this point, so we're watching it closely. What they're doing at the National Weather Service is examining the NEXRAD radar, looking for any of the signatures that they'll see, and the computer helps to alert them out there on that, and then they pass that word on to us as soon as they start to see that, and of course we have the NEXRAD that we'll show you as well. And let's go ahead and do that right now. I haven't shown you the radar in a few minutes. We'll go ahead and show you where the storms are at this time. You can see that heavier band that's back up to the north, gradually moving into Scott County. So that line of thunderstorms is right along I-65 and making its way eastward into Scott County. So we'll continue to watch that particular part of the bow.
Yeah, it's folks in Austin, Scottsburg, Henryville need to really, it's a radar tornado, but I always say better safe than sorry. Go on down the basement and wait till this line passes. And again, we've been emphasizing, once this line moves through, the threat of severe weather is over. So the threat of severe weather has ended now for all of southwest Indiana. For our viewers downstate, Casey County, again, it's not our prime viewing area, but we do have viewers down there in Casey County. A tornado warning has been issued. That is in effect until 9:15, and it looks like the worst of it may bypass Liberty, although large up to baseball-sized hail is possible in the Liberty area, and that is certainly very damaging hail. But the communities affected by this tornado, let's see, would be Dunville, Phil, and Labascus, Kentucky. Over the next few minutes, that's down Casey County.
Yeah, this is that same cell we were talking about a few moments ago, the severe thunderstorm issued for Hardin County and Nelson County.
Like you mentioned, you get that training effect. You see how the storm, you get the storms move through, you get a new warm form on the tail end and moves over the same area, so there could be that flooding.
And this has happened also up here in Oldham County, where we've seen this particular cell that's just formed. This is not severe as of this point, but I would not be surprised to hear a warning come out on that one pretty soon, either moving into Trimble County and Carroll County. This one kind of formed right here in eastern Jefferson County on the tail end of another system that had pushed through that area before. So once again, we'll keep an eye on that one, moving into parts of Henry County right there as well. So those of you just to the north of Newcastle and into Carroll County, Carrollton, and into Trimble County, watch out for that particular cell as it's making its way to the northeast. This particular one is making its way into Scott County, also into Clark County, and making its way into the Knobs as well. And it's approaching the areas back to the west in Crawford and Harrison County, so we'll watch out in western Jefferson County over the next few minutes, too, to see how this is going to impact the Jefferson County area as it makes its way across the river. It is showing a little bit of development down toward Meade County at this point.
Craig, all these warnings almost a blur, but remember we had talked about the tornado that went across Bonneville, Magnolia, and then through
Marion County
there. Well, evidently it clipped a portion of Greene County right here, northern part of Greene County, and DES down in Greene County is reporting tornado damage near Creel in the northern part of the county. In fact, Highway 61 is closed down. A tornado has actually lifted the barn up, and the remains of the barn are now blocking Highway 61. So 61 is closed in northern Greene County. Out of Marion County, the word is a lot of power lines down. A lot of power outages through Marion County. Haven't had anything more substantial than that.
We're seeing another one generate right in that same area, John. It's just beginning to pick itself up once again, and it looks like it's going to make its way to the northeast as well.
And again, as we've been telling the folks all night long, a very volatile situation here, that any storm that develops, be prepared to move to a safe place. We've had untold number of reports of golf ball-sized hail across the region tonight, and at last count, probably at least four, maybe 5 tornadoes. Here comes another warning now. Do we have the Scott County radar ready yet, Chris? Okay, go over the other radar here. We have this line of thunderstorms now into Scott County, and again, it doesn't look real impressive here, but okay, hang on.
Scott County in southern Indiana.
All right. Louisville. Okay, this line of storms approaching Louisville. Now we're under another severe thunderstorm warning. The northern edge of this line, right here in Scott County, is under a tornado warning. You know, nothing looking unusually threatening on our radar here, but again, could be right in here, passing south of Vienna. Also in the Austin area, could be a possible tornado with that. But we've had no reports of touchdowns with that.
In these particular areas, we're not showing any kind of a real turbulence showing up on the
and just because the radar is not showing the turbulence does not mean that it's not a serious situation. But again, I would say, again, extreme southern Scott County, be on the lookout for a possible tornado there. And again, looks like Austin, just east of Austin, just east of Interstate 65.
Let's go back over to graphics 1 real quick, and let me show you the area that just received the warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning now for southern Clark County. So we're talking about through here, Jefferson County, Kentucky, the Louisville area, and Oldham County. These are severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect until 9:15. That's until 9:15 for southern Clark, Jefferson County, Kentucky, the Louisville metropolitan area, and Oldham County until 9:15. This is all in anticipation of this particular line making its way across the river and making its way into the downtown area and also the eastern Jefferson County, into Prospect and into Oldham County, into LaGrange within the next few minutes or so. And this, once again, this Boeing area along the radar returns that we're watching right now is the area of most significant damage possibility, at least at this point, along with the warning that we have back up to the north in Scott County as well. So that's the way that one's shaping up at this time. And I don't see anything else that looks particularly ominous out there at this point other than this particular line. We're still seeing some pretty heavy returns showing up in central Nelson County, just to the north of Bardstown, and making its way to the east. The returns that are showing up back to the west toward Franklin County and into Frankfort and back into Fayette County actually look like they're beginning to decrease in intensity somewhat. This particular cell just in the southern sections of Henry County, though, still showing a bit of strength, and we're showing some strength in northern Henry County back into Trimble and Carroll County on those cells as they're making their way to the east. We've been watching this one rather closely. This is the supercell that John was telling you about earlier. We could see that one on radar way back out to the west, well to the west of Evansville. It's still holding together at this point, although we have no reports coming in out of that as of yet. But once again, that should continue to track right along the river, so that one still looks like it would be some potential for severe weather making its way into Meade County, into Breckinridge County as it makes its way back up to the northeast and is coming this way.